I've actually been getting mixed reports about this because Cloud seemed to imply that MorroW was kind of focusing on poker right now. But I was talking to Koget right before the cast, right before our cast of the last series, and he said, no. MorroW played like 300 practice games before this tournament. He's definitely been practicing. I was like, oh, interesting.
300 games since when?
That's a good point, actually. I don't know.
If
He
it's like
just said 300
since
games.
remastered, that's not much.
I mean, it's still a decent number, right? I don't think I've played 300 games since Remastered came out.
But you're probably not that far off, and you're not even like playing in tournaments.
Wait, there's no way I'm like anywhere close to 300 games, is there? 300 games is a lot.
It's not that much, no. It's really
I mean,
not.
if the average game time is like, I don't know, 12 minutes or something, how many hours of games is that? That's like
Maths is hard.
Wait, 300 times, so that's perfect. 300 times 12 minutes is 3,600 minutes, which is 60 hours? That's 60 hours of StarCraft.
It's too difficult. I don't know how you've done that.
That's a lot of StarCraft. I could be completely wrong. I hope I'm not off by like an order of magnitude. Anyway, guys, it's not a math stream. This is a StarCraft stream.
We should probably talk about the bands.
And we could talk about the bands. I mean, there's only one band apiece here, of course. It is a best of 5 in a map pool of 7 maps. So it looks like Gory Niche has banned Neo Jade and MorroW banned Outsider.
Which is a little bit strange because as a Terran player, you want to get an Outsider game in to test out the Zerg's 2-hatch strategies.
Oh.
Because if you just allow them to practice, to prepare only like macro games,
Yeah.
then they're going to get into a rhythm.
Yeah.
But if you can throw them off with like a quick starport game on Outsider,
Hmm.
then I feel like that can actually be beneficial. Even if you lose the game, I feel like it's going to be beneficial in a way.
Well, I guess we'll see what happens here because Gory Niche is loading in onto game number 1 as the blue Zerg at the top left.
And MorroW is here on the bottom left as the red Terran.
Indeed, he is. And it looks like nothing crazy coming out just yet. We are, of course, on Gladiator as the first one. And that's an interesting point about the 2-hatch Muta. I wonder... I mean, Gold Rush is not vetoed, right? And that's a very similar concept to Outsider, although it looks like in the map order it will actually be in game number 5, obviously only if it goes that far. And it looks like good game, good luck for MorroW.
Just chat rushing him.
Oh man, I wonder what the 3D in front stands for. Did RM actually get sponsored or something? So RM actually stands for Russian Mafia. It's I don't know if that how recent that team was
I
made.
haven't seen the 3D in front of the name before.
Yeah. I'm not making that up, by the way, guys. That's the actual name of the team in Gambit's Cup.
We have a 9-pull.
Indeed, we do. Ooh, 9-pull in action with Gastric here from Gory Niche. Didn't Miso 9-pull a lot against Shiny in the recent Clash Patrol?
I think Shiny is someone you want to open 9-pull against quite a lot because he does open very aggressive builds. He does bunker rush a lot. So.
Okay. That's fair enough.
And he's going to get his Overlord to the right position. And if this is a Command Center expand, and he builds it at his natural, then the 9-pull is going to force a cancel. But the Terran's going to get his SCV there, so he will be able to build his Command Center on the high ground and be fine, most likely.
Well, I guess we'll see. The 6 Lings are out now on the field. The SCV Scout is coming in. It's going to see the Lings, obviously. Might even get sniped off here. It's going to get stuck on the Zerglings and actually gets picked off. I mean, I'm sure he can tell from the Ling timing that this was a 9-pool opening. And what is the response going to be? Probably going to pull a couple of SCVs to help block for his Marine here. And very interesting aggressive strategy here from Gory Niche. I don't think he even 9-pooled any of the ZVP games he played yesterday, did he?
He did, actually. He 9-pulled once.
Oh, did he? Oh, no, of course, on Tau Cross. That's how he basically got the free win. because of the build orders. But here we go. He's running in. There's no SCV block. There's a barracks actually blocking Or is that the command center? That might actually be the command center. But either way, that actually makes a really interesting block. I didn't even realize that was a thing on Gladiator. So MorroW clearly knows his building placement on this map, but 5 Zerglings are now running around in his mineral line.
It's very strange. He saw the Zerglings coming, he lost his SCV to them, and he's not prepared for them. I mean, it is the backwards ramp, so it's really hard to put your Marines and SCVs on there because you're not going to have vision at the top of the ramp.
Indeed, indeed. And looks like a second SCV scout going in here. Just going to confirm that it is going to be a 3-hatch build from Gorinich. Usually would expect to see the 3-hatch Muta, but you were telling me how a lurker opening on Gladiator can be very strong due to little high ground pizza slices.
Yeah, the lurkers are probably the way to go on Gladiator, just because you can keep moving backwards onto the next pizza slice, and then the next one. Yeah. Just keep your pepperonis moving. And just delay the push like forever, and then you get your hive.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you can just throw up your bases, and you're fine.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely
but
makes sense.
He does actually have really good positions for Mutas here, because the Terran's Natural is close to both of the Zerg's hatcheries.
Yeah.
So the Mutas can all get there really, really fast and start harassing the mineral line.
But the mineral layout on Gladiator at the Natural has the minerals kind of pressed against the edge of the map. It's not like on Fighting Spirit where there's a gap.
Well, on Fighting Spirit, there's only 2 positions where the minerals are like against the big opening.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's the top left and the top right have the minerals facing the wall of the map, right?
Hold that thought, though. We got a 5 Marine attack coming in here. What the heck is going on? We were busy talking about overall strategy and positioning, but look at this. He's going to get the Overlord. The one Overlord actually dies here. Gorinich now supply block, and looks like MorroW is just going to piece out of there running. He basically walked across the map, killed like 3 Zerglings, killed an Overlord. It's like, all right, see ya, I'm out, and just goes back to his base.
You wouldn't normally expect that because he opened 9 pill, right? So you've got to expect that maybe he's going to do a Zergling bust or something. Yep. And if you move out those 5 Marines and he does get Zergling speed and he does a Zergling bust, you're just dead. So that was pretty risky, but it did pay off for him.
I wonder if Gorinich has maybe seen some of MorroW's practice games or something, maybe, or wait, other way around. MorroW's seen Gorinich's practice games and maybe didn't expect him to do something like that, or maybe just took like a calculated risk to move out there. But a nice little early pickup for MorroW. And we do see the lair coming up now for Gorinich.
Actually, I heard MorroW was actually asking, will Gorinich do a Zergling buzz to a few of the players backstage? And they were kind of like, I doubt it. So maybe that's actually played into the strategy here.
Yeah, I mean, there are definitely some players that just don't do that, right? Like Rhett, for example.
But he does actually have a lot of Zerglings here.
But these were made in response mostly to the Marines. And here we go, nice wall, using the Academy at the front here. Gorinich trying to go in here. The SCVs are coming off. There's actually not enough Marines. Maybe the Zerglings are running through. The SCVs are trying to block here. Is he going to be able to break through? There's only 3 Marines left. He's going in. He's running past. The SCVs are blocking. Can he actually hold on here? There's only 5 Zerglings left. How many SCVs are going to die here? MorroW perhaps overestimating the strength of his wall. He does clean up the Zerglings, though. That is a lot of SCVs killed, but also a huge investment for Gorinich to make so many Zerglings early on. You can see he switched back into drones. No, he's got more Zerglings coming now. The second wave before the Mutas. Can he bust in this time again?
Yeah, a huge mistake there. I'm not sure why he has his buildings in such strange shape there. I don't really agree with that. I feel like you need to have your Marines all in one spot. Yeah,
bunched up at the top of the ramp behind the bunker. There's a Firebat in the bunker, 2 Firebats in the bunker. The SCV is trying to block the Zerglings. There goes the unload, but the Zerglings running in. And it doesn't matter if these Zerglings, all die here. If they can kill all the Marines, when the Mutas come in, there will be no anti-air to stop the Mutalisks. The engineering bay is there. There's no turrets making. There's almost no Marines here to counteract the Mutas. He's even going to attack the engineering bay, which is trying to get the +1 upgrade.
Yeah, the Mutas will be spawning very, very shortly now, and this engineering is going to die. Oh my god.
Engineering bay! He lifts. He cancels the +1 upgrade. He lifts. He's got 9 HP. It's going to burn down. He can't get the SCVs there. Look, the Zerglings are blocking the SCVs from repairing. And the engineering bay, it burns down. He cannot make turrets. He made 1 turret at the Natural. He cannot make any more turrets. He has no Marines either. There is nothing to stop the Mutas from taking this game for Gorinich.
He's going to have to build like a bunker at his barracks and a bunker in his main to try and hold on.
Oh my god. This is madness. I can't believe it. That I thought he did the perfect time to lift there, but then the Zerglings actually went in between the mineral line and the engineering bay. I think there were 2 SCVs even trying to come off to repair it, but just couldn't get there. And here come the Mutalisks. You can see, I believe that's a rebuilt engineering bay, not even finished. And there's just nothing here for MorroW. A few Marines running back here, but they won't even have their +1 upgrade either. That's going to make things even harder for MorroW to stop this.
And it's even the blue mutas, which are the prettiest mutas of all, right?
Yeah. Oh,
nice,
man.
shiny blue wings.
And they could actually be blue every game in the series too, because I think they'll just keep the colors the same, right?
Yeah, because it's top versus bottom. So
exactly.
you can always put the player on the top or the bottom.
Oh my god, that actually reminds me. I wanted to talk about that last series, but Draco kept putting forward gateways, so I was never able to actually talk about that. But guys, I figured out how the red-blue works. Apparently, if you host a game top versus bottom, like top is always blue, bottom is always red or something, or the other way around, and that's how they're doing the color change. But if you look on the minimap, as I was saying yesterday, you can see orange and red. So it looks like there's like a bug or something where the minimap square doesn't actually change to red and blue to match the players. That's why I was confused, but it is actually in the game, the colors changing.
It looks like MorroW does have a red square, even though normally it's wrong, but this time it's right for MorroW.
Just coincidentally.
And the Zerg is getting his third base up and looking in a really strong position. Lurkers are ready to come in.
Yep.
Throwing down his Queen's Nest soon, most likely, and going for Hive.
I mean,
but the Terran's armies are really small.
Oh, Mutaling coming in, but the Firebat's doing a lot of damage. I don't know if that's a good place to commit here. I mean, Medic Marine is still super strong in a straight-up fight against Mutas, even when there's not that many. You can see he's pulling back now. But yeah, that Academy also, by the way, almost got sniped. Could you imagine if he got the eBay and the Academy both sniped in the early game?
Yeah, I mean, losing the eBay is huge because now he doesn't have +1 attack.
Yeah, yeah.
And that is just... The Mutas are just having so much power right now, he can't even move out from his base. So this third is going to come up really easily.
Wait, is he building a second academy in his main? Did you see that? Wait, I thought that was... Wait, that's an academy. Can the observer show us there's 2 academies! He actually thought he was going to lose the academy at the front, and he's now got a second academy in his main base. The classic double academy build from MorroW. Meanwhile, Gorinich sending a few Hydras over to the top right to the morph into Lurkers. Of course, the very standard Zerg taking another main base as their third base. It is a reverse ramp, but he's got 4 Hydras there that will turn into 4 Lurkers. Should be absolutely safe.
You know, if you don't stack the Lurkers below the reverse ramp, you can actually do blind medics. Blind each of the Lurkers.
No way.
And then do a bust.
No way. Wait, I don't think I've seen that before.
I've seen it.
What?
I've had people trying to do that against me. That's why I now make sure my Lurkers are always stacked. I have seen that a few times.
All right, well, let's see if MorroW knows about these crazy blind strats. I'm not sure if he could even afford to get that upgrade at this point in time, or if his medics would even have energy, but he's actually moving out on the map. MorroW is not in as bad a position as I expected, but no, now the Lings are coming in from the backside, and the first Medic Marine group is getting crushed here in the middle of the map. Never mind, I take it back. MorroW is back in a horrible position.
Yeah, and Gorinich hasn't even had to build Sunkens, so he has a really strong economy now. And he will have his Hive soon, most likely.
Yep.
And the Terran has not been able to move out at all, do any kind of damage, and he doesn't even have drop ships. So the Zerg actually his third base only has 1 drone mining.
That's true. That's true.
I love it strange, because you can normally have about 5 drones by now.
Maybe he's just... I mean, he did make a lot of Lings as well, so maybe he was just focused on the Ling production at this point.
Looks like the Mutas are harassing in the main.
Oh, indeed they are. They're actually going to try and take down the control tower. Going to stop a science vessel from being made if they can do that. Although there's a second one above that, so I'm not sure quite how useful that will be. Random Lurker Lings running into the front right now. There's actually only a single Lurker, but here we go. The Exposed Academy is going to fall, but guess what? Guess what? MorroW was 12 steps ahead of you, man. He has a second Academy in the main base.
See, that's why he's a poker player.
I know, right? Completely bluffed Gorinich.
There's just 1 Lurker contending on here, which isn't really enough, but the 3 control groups of Zerglings or something crazy like that. Oh, and the more Lurkers come from the third now, because he doesn't need to defend it with Lurkers anymore, because he's so far ahead he can just go for the contain. Yeah,
he knows there's no units out on the map. Looks like the Muse AFK a little bit, going to lose a couple of those. I mean,
there's no tanks.
Oh,
so he can't actually move out. If he gets contained here, he's just stuck.
Oh,
and the control tower, the control tower
he's not going to wait. He's not going to wait. Gorinich is going for the kill. He doesn't want to contain. He wants to win the game right here. So many lurkers flooding in. The fire bats in the bunker actually doing a lot of damage, roasting most of these Zerglings. But it looks like the lurkers are going to... They're slicing SCVs. The SCVs are in the line. They're slicing Marines. Look at these SCVs. There is a science vessel there. But MorroW tried to fight lurkers with SCVs that were stuck in a line. And I think this game is now going to be over in favor of
he had to throw
Gorinich.
down 3 bunkers immediately, and he has none. He has 1 bunker to defend against 5 lurkers. It's just not going to do that.
And Gorinich takes game number 1 in convincing fashion. It was very interesting because the first move out by MorroW with those 5 Marines I thought was really cute and really effective, but didn't hold on against that lane counterattack.
Yeah, and that is a really important mind game to get in the turn versus Zerg. If you're shown that you can move out with those 5 Marines, the Zerg's going to feel like in the next games they have to build either early Zerglings or 1 sunken.
Yeah, yeah.
And that actually puts you way behind. If you can actually make only drones, you're in a really good spot, which is what he was trying to do.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting because sometimes like the move out is fake, right? The Terran move out just far enough for your Overlord to see it.
Usually you want to do the fake out because
yeah.
If the Zerg does do the Zerg bust, you're just going to die.
Yeah.
You know, that you don't want to give away free wins like that when you're Terran, right? Because you're supposed to have the advantage.
But at the same time, if you fake out every time, then they don't believe you anymore. It's got to be real some percentage of the time. It's quite funny because I was talking to Cloud about PvZ yesterday, and he's pretty much saying the same thing with like Zergs and Hydra Bust. He's like, you know, 3-hatch Hydra Bust has to exist, and it's a great thing to exist because it forces Protoss to play in a certain way. If you don't respect it, you know, then you're going to lose to it some of the time. But if you play against a really macro Zerg who never Hydra Busts you, that allows you to cut so many corners that changes the way the matchup works.
Yeah,
so it's the same idea here, I think.
Yeah, and it's similar with like 4-pill and stuff like that. If you never ever 4-pill, then the Terran can just get away with so much stuff.
Yeah.
It has to be in the back of their mind.
Indeed it does. And here we go into game number 2. What are the players thinking? I don't know, they seem pretty serious. Gorinich has a really scary look on his face. That's a death stare that I would not want to encounter, but MorroW is unfazed. He's super focused. Or at least I hope he's focused.
I don't know, his pupils seem really dilated.
Oh man. Oh, well, I guess we'll see how he performs here in game number 2. But first off, spawning here at the top right location as the blue Zerg on Tau Cross, it is Gorinich.
The Russian death stare. And down here in the bottom right corner, we have MorroW with the GGGL and the red Terran.
Oh,
Can he pull it back? Do you think so?
GG and good. I mean, whatever else happens, he's a good manner guy, apparently. With the good game, good luck every game. I like it. But, I mean, I would, you know, coming into this matchup, even though I underestimated MorroW yesterday, I would still pick Gorinich to win this.
Yeah.
But I'm not even sure if I'm safe to make any predictions anymore because, you know, MorroW got out of the group and then Draco took 2 games off Firebat Hero, so I'm not even sure what's happening anymore.
Well, the rush distances are really short in this map, so sunken bust is a big thing.
Yep.
We could definitely see that. And also there's the funny cheese that you can do where you put a supply depot in the little gap.
He's put his depot in an interesting place. I guess he can put the barracks below that to make a tight wall as well without having to wall himself in.
Yep, and the Overlord is not going to get there to the right position.
Not going to get overlorded this time, but second Overlord should make its way down there, or in that
Looks like
general
we don't
direction.
have the 9 pill this time though. It's going for the 12 hatch and the 12 scout at the same time. Standard.
And since the Overlord's going to the left side, then the drone should go to the 6 o'clock, right?
Yep, that's right. So we will get a drone scout off here.
You can maybe even block the command center, be annoying. That'd be quite funny.
Well, the Marine comes out in time to... I mean, we can delay it for like 2 seconds, but it's not too much of a deal.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, looks like SCV Scout now coming out for MorroW as well. Going to see the direction the drone is coming from. So, I mean, it looked like he was going that direction anyway, but can now be confident that that is in fact where Gorinich spawned. And here comes the drone. Going to do maybe a bit of spitting action, but You know, not going to see too much interesting. I mean, this basically confirms that MorroW is going for the 1 Rex expand build. He's just going to have a look in here and say, yeah, there's a good amount of SCVs. It's not any kind of weird hidden second barracks or something.
Yeah, it looks like Gornich is going for the 3 hatch build. He might try and get his drone out here and then build his 3rd with the 3rd hatchery, which would be a really good strategy on Tow Cross. But it looks like he's not going to go for that.
Yep. Just gonna chill for now. I guess we'll find out. Looks like a drone getting pushed away, as you said, exactly as the command center is being thrown down. So yeah, basically, unless any kind of crazy Ling busts happen again in this game, we're just gonna have to chill a little bit until the mutas come out. Where's the... Okay, so the second Overlord right now is outside. It's actually flying through the middle of the map. He didn't stop at his natural.
It is a bit dangerous. It can be sniped off if the Terran scouts with his SCV.
Yeah.
But it looks like MorroW's not going to go for that, so he'll be fine. And he's got a 3rd hatchery down now, and he's starting his gas. Standard 3 hatch build here.
Yep. Oh, SCV. No SCV death for you. All right.
Looks like the Terran player might be moving out now with the early Marines. No, he's pulled them back again. Just kidding.
But there's actually no Overlord there to fake out, so Gornich actually doesn't have vision of any Marine move out. So if he actually wanted to do it for real, you know, this could be another move here. The Overlord looks like, oh, it actually stops directly in the center. That's actually very interesting. It gives him an interesting vision point of all 3 bridges, although just on the edge of all 3 bridges. If Marines from MorroW walked straight to Gornich's natural, would they actually be spotted by that Overlord, do you think?
Yeah, they have to click straight there, but maybe only barely. Like,
yeah,
you would see like the edge Marine or something.
Yeah, yeah. It seems quite close there because, of course, if you look on the mini map, guys, you can see only kind of the top part of that bridge.
And they are actually moving out. Here comes the Marines.
Here we go, guys.
There's only these 2 Zerglings.
All right, this is the question. Does Gornich actually see this? I don't believe that's in vision. I am fairly certain that is actually not in vision of that Overlord. And the SCV is actually giving him early warning. It's showing him how many drones are being made. Oh my god, Gornich.
We'll have to pull his drones here and hold with the 4 Zerglings and his drones.
The Sunken is being made, but that Sunken's not going to be in time. The Marines are actually walking past it. He's just going to go try and kill as many drones as he can. He's going to ignore the Sunken colony. He's running in here, but he's getting surrounded by Lings on all sides, and this is not a great attack. He does kill 1, I think 2 drones there. Actually, I see 2 drone corpses for the 5 Marines. I'm not sure if that's necessarily worth it, especially if he cannot hold the counterattack. How good is the SimCity back in his natural? That is a question.
Yeah, and we saw from the last game that his SimCity knowledge for the natural is not really up to par. It's not really modern StarCraft 1. It's more like a StarCraft 2 sort of wall-off.
Yeah.
Where you sort of build all your tech buildings at the front.
Oh,
but
wait.
This actually looks pretty good. Yeah, I'm liking this wall-off.
He did also pull SCVs just to make absolutely sure not to die to the same counter this time. Now, Gornich last game, he made like 2 control groups of speedlings, but I don't see... I see a lot of speedlings on the map. I'm not sure if it's quite as many as last game.
It's a lot of... He has like almost no mineral drones at his natural.
Uh-oh.
So this is actually like semi-all-in. If you don't do damage with this, your 3rd is going to be so late.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I guess we'll see here. It worked for him last game, so why not try it again? But there's actually a second depot at the front, I think.
He has just built a round of drones, I believe. Looks like there's more blue dots on those minutes. Yep.
It does. Indeed, seems so.
So it's just that he wanted the Zerglings out earlier. Normally you want to build the drones first and then the Zerglings. And then you can get your 3rd slightly earlier. So his 3rd is going to be delayed.
Yep.
But not by too much. And he will have a strong... forcing the Terran to stay in space, and then you come in with the mutas.
Yeah.
And since the Terran hasn't been able to move out with his Marines, then you can sort of contain him in his base and get your 3rd up easier.
Yeah.
Whereas if the Marines are out on the map and you don't have your Zerglings made yet, then they can push the mutas back slowly, just making small moves.
Yes.
And then they can try and make their way to the 3rd and then combine the Marines, and then if you haven't killed enough Marines with your mutas, you could get overrun.
It comes down to the muta micro in that case.
But that's not going to happen this way because he has built the Zerglings earlier.
That's actually really interesting. But I guess this is kind of like the safer thing to do, right? Whereas if you're a bit greedier, you would make the drones and try and rely on your muta micro.
Yeah, the Koreans tend to play more greedy.
Yeah, exactly.
Although Jaedong is known for being the person who makes the Zerglings.
Really?
So...
Interesting. Well, I mean, if Jaedong does it, it's got to be right, guy.
Yeah, what would Jaedong do?
Oh man, I can't believe it actually applies here. But here we go, guys. The Muta's coming in. The +1 for the Marines has finished already. MorroW going for that fast +1 for the 5 racks build. The very standard TVZ nowadays. And how good is Gorinich's Muta control going to be? It's actually interesting, by the way. I was thinking, you know, even though obviously we're playing on a real LAN latency right here, there should be no lag or anything, but it does mean that the control feels slightly different from normal. Of course, these players will have just been practicing, you know, online, on the ladder, against random opponents, or even their practice partners. There would have to be a little bit of latency between them, and even though this is kind of optimal playing conditions, it's a question of whether they're actually used to this level of responsiveness of the units.
Yeah, of course, it's a lot different practicing with lag, with mutas, and practicing completely without lag.
Exactly.
You have to click sooner without lag. And you might not be used to that, and you might see him miss a few muta shots here while he's trying to get used to it. But there's no turrets at the barracks. There's no turrets in the main.
Oh, man,
he's
look at that.
taking so much damage from these mutas.
I mean, he still has his eBay this time, right? The eBay didn't die, so he doesn't have an excuse for why he doesn't have turrets here. But I don't know if this is just trying to be greedy or just mistiming or even just forgetting maybe getting some nerves on the stage. Although MorroW doesn't seem like the type of person to really suffer from stage fright. But here we go. Muta's coming in. There were a couple of turrets, but normally you want pairs of turrets, right? Just judging from the rubble there might have actually been 2 turrets originally that did get picked off. But in the meantime, Gorinich, you can see, taking his third base at the left side main here, going up to Lurker Tech, playing the same game we saw last game.
Yeah, it is a very late third, but the turn has taken so much damage now that the Zerg is actually really far ahead. And you can even see he's got the supply lead, which you should never have in ZVT at this point, really. Well, you can do if you have like an all-in, but he's not going all-in.
Yep. I think that's exactly right. And, well, looks like the mutas have just pieced out here. And by the way, guys, so when you go for 3-hatch muta ZBT, you know, he has done a decent amount of damage, but the mutas don't actually even necessarily need to do like any economic damage or anything. You know, the whole point of this is getting up the safe third base, but he's really abusing this map feature, this narrow choke point. This is actually one of the interesting points of Tau Cross, not only in this matchup, but also in something, well, basically in like a TVT or even TVP, where Seashanks can actually siege outside the main and cut off that choke between the main and the natural.
Yeah, and again, Gorinich has been able to play super greedy. He's only got 1 sunken.
Yep.
Which is actually insane. Oh, huge engagement here. Oh, he's going to lose all his Zergons for free.
Oh my god.
That's not good, because he only has 1 sunken at home and 1 lurker egg, it looks like, which is not enough for all these Marines.
Gorinich making a mistake there, not realizing how far out MorroW's army was, running past, losing a good chunk of his army without doing a single thing. And Gorinich now could be in trouble to this bust. As you said, 1 sunken, 1 lurker is not enough to hold this.
He has his other lurkers at his third, and they're not going to be ready in time if MorroW moves in right now.
It does indeed look like there's 3 lurkers prepared at the left side base. He even sent, or that might be a drone transfer. I thought those were links, but no, I think that's a drone transfer.
He is hiding lurker under the Overlord, though, so it will be hard to target, but there's only 1 sunken. And there's only 1 lurker.
He's going for the boss. The mutas are trying to hold on. The 1 sunken is still alive. Can he hold on? The links are coming from the back. It's insanely close. The lurker's still alive, and that was really, really close. And MorroW actually has been pushed back here. I cannot believe Gorinich held that.
Yeah, he wasn't able to target the lurker because of the Overlord, which is what has saved him. Because the lurker only took 2 damage there.
Man, really nice move there by Gorinich. The clutch Overlord camouflage there, preventing MorroW from busting, but a big wave of reinforcement. And surely, if there's still only 1 lurker, he can just attack move.
Yeah, it looks like he's not even bringing his lurkers from his third. They're just chilling there, and he's trying to build emergency sunkens, but I don't think they're going to be ready in time. And here comes the Marines.
There's the scan. There's the attack move. I think he's going to kill the lurker this time. The lurker's finished. The sunkens aren't finished. The Zerglings are coming out. There's only 1 mutalisk. 2 sunkens finished. A second scan just to confirm that no more lurkers are waiting in the wings. And this could be MorroW evening out the series 1-1. I think Gorinich is completely dead. There is a scan, but GG from Gorinich. And it is now tied up 1-1. MorroW showing that he's got some serious TVZ game there. That was pretty well played.
Yeah, but it was mostly Gorinich's greed, really, wasn't it? 1 sunken.
I guess so. I mean, like, how... And the thing is, like, he got caught in the middle of the map, but he lost mostly... I don't think he lost mutas when he got caught out there, right? He just lost, like, I don't know, 6 or 8 Zerglings. And even if he had all those, I don't think he could have held that.
Well, he needed to somehow do some sort of sandwich. Like, while the Marines are fighting the 1 sunken and the 1 lurker, he had to come in from the back with these 2 control groups of things and then try and get some shots with his mutas, although he only had about 6 mutas at that point.
Yeah, yeah.
And for some reason, he's only building all of his lurkers at his third, even though the closer rush distances on toggle cross is straight to the natural.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. I guess he just assumed MorroW would go to the third, especially since it's a non-ramp map, right? So toggle cross is really nice for attacking that third.
But I feel like if you do that, you definitely have to have 3 sunkens, even maybe 4.
Yeah, yeah.
And he only had 1 lurker motion at his natural. That's not enough.
It's quite funny because before that happened, he played the non-greedy style of actually making Zerglings instead of drones, right? Like you were saying, the way Jaedong does it, and actually playing that safe instead of just trying to rely on his Muta micro. But then he turned around and became
if you make the Zerglings, it is hard to get the Sunken up as well.
Yes, that's
which
true.
is why you can have to rely on the flanking of the Zerglings, which he wasn't able to do because he lost them all for free round.
Absolutely right.
Although he did do good damage with his mutas, so he should have been fine, but then he started to get his mutas shaved off and some lings shaved off, and then it all fell apart from there.
Well, I guess we'll see what he does here in this third game. Another good game, good luck for MorroW, but this here at the left side as the Blue Zerg is, of course, going to be Gorinich, who's apparently tired of typing good game, good luck, and goes for the, he mixes up the build, he goes for the U2 thanks. I like it.
Throwing his opponent off. And on the right here, on our map crossing field, we have MorroW as the Red Terran.
Indeed, it is. And now this is going to be interesting because, I mean, obviously as a 2-player map, you don't have the same principle as the last couple of games where you're going for another main base as your third gas, right? But because you have the back expansion, you can basically defend your 3 gas bases just with the 1 choke.
Yeah, this is a really good map for Zerg actually, because all you have to do is defend your choke, and you have 3 bases.
Yeah.
So he's not going to get caught out with having the 1 lurker and then 3 at his third, like he has shown in the last game. In fact, I think in the first game he had the same thing going on, but he did so much damage with his mutas and lings that it didn't matter.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the game was kind of decided by the early ling run-ins and stuff, and sniping the eBay, that kind of thing.
And it is actually really easy to take the 4th base here as well. Sometimes you can get it before your defiler timing, which is normally not the case on other maps.
Yeah. That's an interesting point. What about the openings, though? What kind of... I mean, is he going to go for just 3-hatch muta, do you think, or...?
You'd have to think he's going to go for 3-hatch. He might even go for 3-hatch before pill, which would be really interesting.
Ooh. That is a possibility. We can see the 12-hatch coming out from Gorinich. He's going to do the drone scout. Is he going to do the ultra greed build? MorroW is sending a SCV down. He might be going 14cc, in which case 3-hatch before pool is absolutely a good choice for Gorinich, but obviously he won't see that in time to make the decision. He'd have to make the decision blind, and no, he does build a spawning pool.
It looks like he's not going to do it because he didn't scout down towards where his natural 4th base is, which is where you normally build the proxy barracks.
Yeah.
So you want to scout down there first before you go for the 3-hatch, usually.
That's actually interesting.
Or go for like a 9-drone scout.
It's exactly what Firebat Hero did against Draco, I believe, scouting down there as well before going for a fast expand.
Yeah.
But here we go. Drone is now going to see the bad news, or I guess from the lack of barracks, he already kind of saw the bad news that it is in fact a 14cc. And I mean, this is part of the beauty of Crossing Field. You can play ultra greedy builds thanks to the back expansion. It really launches the game forward very quickly into the more macro-y mid game.
Yeah, and as the back expansion is taken first, which it's a good base, but the mutas can come in from the back there and harass it really well.
Yeah.
So it is a really dangerous one for against mutas. So almost certainly he's going to go mutas here.
Definitely makes sense. And there is, of course, the narrow ramp there that mutas can abuse to try and pick off Marines as they run down.
And it looks like he knows how to do the Overlord placements on this map. He's got a really good second Overlord here.
Where's that going? Is that
going
down
to the south of the map, and then it will come down and see the back base.
Okay. Seems good. Seems good. I think the drone is actually still also wandering around in the side of the main base. I can see that. But an STV now coming out from MorroW. Going to see what's happening. Of course, Gorinich, when he scouted the 14cc, he placed his third hatchery at the top left. But I'm pretty sure he was going to do that anyway. On most maps, that would just be a macro hatchery in your main base. But obviously you could just put that at the expansion here.
Yep, and the SCV gets in and gets all the information he needs, really. He's going to see that it's going to be mutas, most likely, because he will probably see the second gas come up. It should be thrown up very soon now, in about 50 more gas. And then we'll know it's 3 hatch meters. Otherwise, you get your gas later if you go on lurkers.
Oh, really? Okay. I did not know that. That's pretty cool. I guess we'll see here.
But it looks like the SCV actually falls and doesn't see the actually late gas.
But he hasn't built... Wait,
so
did he actually build a den?
It looks like he's actually
oh, there's the den. We're looking at it on screen. I was like, did he build a den? And the observer was literally had it clicked.
Yeah.
All right. So
it's very strange. He's opening lurkers. I guess he wants to go for like some sort of contain below the ramp. Because it's going to be almost impossible to move up the ramp with the lurkers. All he has to just build like a bunker up there and then just get like a good concave when the lurkers try and come up.
But he's going to be facing a fast tech build here. Very interesting. So completely different openings from the previous 2 games, which kind of makes sense because Crossing Field is quite a different map here. MorroW, instead of opening +1 5 racks, is actually going Valconic against the lurker opening. He's actually opting to go for Valkyries, an air-to-air unit. They will do absolutely nothing against the lurkers. Now, hopefully for him, he will stop after 1 Valkyrie upon scouting this, and he can still use the Valkyrie to actually pick off random overlords. For example, this overlord at the front of his base, because the Zerg will not have any anti-air. All the Hydras will be morphed into lurkers, and what that also allows MorroW to do is get a much faster science vessel, as well as, of course, siege tanks to help deal with those lurkers.
Yeah, and he's going to need all the help he can get because it looks like he's not going for the tanks.
Well, actually, wait. No, he's not. You're right. I think you're right. Yep. No machine shop. I think the add-on there is the control tower, right, for the starport?
Yeah, it should be.
All right. Well, I guess we'll see how we can hold this. Building the engineering bay now. Completely convinced that it is Mutalisk. And as you said earlier, Mutas are really strong on this map, so that's a pretty fair assumption to make, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he made a mistake with his SCV losing it there and not scouting the second gas and how soon it's going to be. And the hydrogen was even down there as well.
We had some scans there. I can't quite tell if MorroW saw the den. I guess we'll see from his response in the main base. At the moment, of course, he's just camping at the top of his ramp there, as you would expect, making sure no units can run up there. He does actually still have the 4, even with the fast tech, he is producing off 4 barracks.
He does have his first Valkyrie out, I think, and that's going to do almost nothing here. I mean, you can kill overlords, but really slowly. 1 Valkyrie against an overlord takes a long time.
Look at this. He's moving back to the natural because he expects Mutas to come out now.
And that's exactly where they would be.
And which means his scan completely missed it. And because Gorinich, remember, he put his den right at the front of his natural. There's very little chance Terran would actually scan that for the first scans.
It looks like he is actually going to go for the Muta follow-up. Although he might scout the Valkyrie here and then change his mind. Maybe.
Well, I guess we'll see. Interestingly, the Valkyrie not really revealing itself and killing any of the scouting overlords. I mean, he must know there's an overlord outside his natural, at least, even if he's not sure where the second overlord is.
He has spent all of his gas now. I can't see if he has a ton of lurkers at the ramp there. Is that blue line a ton of lurkers, do you think?
I guess that's what it must be. And finally, he does move out to pick off this overlord. He's opted for 2 Valkyries as well. That's a big investment that will not pay off for him aside from killing a few overlords. Although, I mean, at this point we say it's not that useful. But if he kills
eggs. It could be Muta eggs coming. And if it is, then that's not going to be good news against the Valkyries.
Uh-oh. I guess we shall see here. I see some units bugging out in the main base, though. They look like they were lurkers that had their pathing blocked.
Yep, that must have been lurkers then.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, there we go. On to the lurkers, and here we go. He's going to see it now. A few Hydras actually remained. Do those Hydras have speed upgrade? It looks like they do, right?
Yeah, it looks like some for Hydra Lurker, which is really interesting. But it's really good against Valconic, actually.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah.
And it's actually especially good on this map. Hydra Lurker is really good on this map.
Oh, that makes me very happy.
Because you have all these little high grounds.
Yeah.
And you can just get really good positions with your Hydras and Lurkers. And since the Terran usually goes for lots of science vessels on this map, you kind of want the Hydras to deal with that.
Yes.
Because if you're stuck making Scourge and then they're flying in and then you're losing them, then you're just getting further behind. But with Hydras, you can actually kill them off.
Is he going for a drop? He's grouping up at the 6 o'clock location. There's 3 overlords here. He's going for drop. He's loading it up. There are 2 turrets at that back base. The marine ball is completely out of position in the middle of the map here. 3 overlords flying in for Gorinich. Can he get the full unload before the turrets pick him off? There we go, regrouping a little bit. It looks like a couple of units in the middle of the map did get picked off by the medic marine, but here we go. Here's the drop in the back of the base. Good reaction time for MorroW, pulling his SCVs, but with the Hydralisks here, can he actually even pick off the command center? MorroW's going for the counter attack though. Very interesting choice.
Yeah, it looks like he's going for the full counter, and I can't see if we have lurkers to defend here. We'd have to assume that he has backup lurkers here, so he should be fine.
Looks like the drone does get picked off.
Drop looks like it's doing a lot of damage, though. It's moving up into the main now, and it looks like there's going to be a lurker at the mineral line, and he's moving all of his SCVs out of the main and into his now third base.
Oh man, Observer, show us the Terran main. Alright, looks like Hydra start picking off this lift to command center. Lurkers, as you said, appear to be blocking the mineral line. Are they? Yes, indeed, they are in the mineral line. How many kills do they have? No kills on that lurker, and it looks like he picks up one more lurker in that overlay that was hiding underneath the overlay and is going to sneak it back down here to the bottom right to keep denying that base. The command center appears to have fallen. So MorroW has lost the back base, but we're going to have a fight here in the middle of the map. The lurker's not all in position. Nice focus fire! The lurkers are all going to get picked off. Only one lurker left, but look at how many hydras there are.
Yeah, there's enough hydras to kill the marines by themselves right now, which is not good news from the Terran, especially when you're not mining from 2 of your bases. Well, he's now mining back from his main, but what used to be his second base is now gone completely.
Oh man, that is really painful for MorroW, and he's facing such a strong mid-game Zerg force here. Hydra Lurker able to really stand toe-to-toe against Terran. Does that have a Lurker in it? He had a Lurker earlier.
It looks like there's a Lurker in the main again.
The Overlord is there. It had a Lurker inside it, but I don't know if he just hasn't dropped it yet or if that's just a fake out. But I guess we'll have to see later on. The SCVs aren't being pulled, so I assume it's not a Lurker yet.
Yeah, it looks like neither player's actually looking at it with their camera. Okay, now Gorinich looks at it, so it looks like it's a fake out then.
All right, look, just trying to do the reverse bait and push the SCVs off the mineral line with that Overlord. But meanwhile, Hydra Lurk controlling the middle of the map, and he might even decide to go for the bust here. That is a lot of units and only a single siege tank. It's going into siege mode now. The key to defeating Hydra Lurker is just to get as many siege tanks as you can.
Oh, he does actually drop a lurker in the main.
Is that dropped? I still can't tell. It looks like it's still... Oh, it is dropped! It is indeed dropped. It's killing SCVs, but at the same time, the Lurker Hydra's coming into the front here. Marines running out. The D-Matrix on the siege tank. He's focusing it down with the Hydralisk, and it looks like the siege tank falls. MorroW's in big trouble. Gorinich is going for the win. 2 siege tanks in the back, but look at the Hydras just walking up to the siege tank, sniping down the science vessels as well.
But there's no queens.
There's no queens.
There's no infest. What's he doing?
Oh, the SCVs actually killed the Lurker in the main, though. The SCVs killed the Lurker in the main, but the command center is dead, and I think Gorinich has a lock on this game.
SCVs are pretty strong, though. Gun jams, they can come down here and kill every single Hydra. That's how strong SCVs can be.
Oh, man. SCVs OP. I know that feel when SCVs are killing all my Dragoons in the base. You know, you walk into the Terran main, you think you got him dead.
It's actually really hard to run up this ramp now with the Hydra Lurker, like I was saying earlier.
Yeah.
So he might actually be able to drag on now and take this back base again. And then the third player is going to have to get his hive units out, get his swarm to push up the ramp, or go for another drop again.
I was going to say, he does have drops if he does want to finish the game with some kind of Doom drop. But, I mean, he's also got the Hive, so, you know, why take a risk, you know, getting your Overlords all sniped or something like that? He even picked off another vessel with that small run-in earlier on up the ramp.
Oh, yeah, it's going for a 2 Lurker drop here with this 1 Overlord.
Oh, where's it going to go? Is it going to go to the main or the natural?
He's going all the way around.
Sneaky, sneaky.
Yep, he's sending all the way to 6 o'clock.
Indeed, he is. And looks like 4th base also being taken now by Gorinich. The Lings are actually, looks like, following that Overlord down. Maybe might bring a couple more Overlords, or I'm not sure what that Ling positioning is.
It looks like he's not bringing his other Overlords. He's taken his 4th base now.
Yep.
And it doesn't look like he has his Defilers moving out on the map yet. So it looks like he's just going to do this 1 drop here and then just macro up and then start making Defilers.
I mean, he's got such a good, or such a huge advantage that I don't think it really matters, right?
He doesn't need to close out the game right now.
Yeah, yeah.
It kind of looks a bit wonky. It's like, why not just kill him? But if you move up that ramp and you lose all your units, you're just throwing the game for no reason.
That's how you throw. That's how you throw. It's almost like what almost happened to Draco against Pro. Remember, he had like a 40 or 50 supply lead in the PvP on Fighting Spirit.
I think both of them were kind of throwing a little bit. Although it looks like he's trying to move up the ramp here. No, he doesn't.
I think it's a distraction, so MorroW isn't looking at the back. He's drawing Morrow's attention away. Yep. Drop going into the back of the natural. If we can get a shot of that, there should be a lurker drop in the back of Terran's base, but it looks like
it's been taken care of, actually.
Oh, that's true. I don't see it anymore on the minimap. All right, I guess there was a Valkyrie there.
Looks like the Overlord was just insta-sniped.
Yeah. Well, there was one Valkyrie, and I guess there's like a turret or two there, so it doesn't, or it didn't actually get the drop off.
Yeah, but as soon as the Defiler comes out, this game is over, unless he gets sneaky irradiates off with his science vessels.
Yeah.
Sees the Defilers coming, irradiates them before they get there.
Oh. Hold that thought, though. Or finally going to retake this natural. I mean, thanks to Siege Shanks, man. It's so hard to actually contain a Terran. They just like slowly crawl forward.
Yeah, Terran is that race that just you never leave the game until you have like no SCVs and no command centers.
Oh my god.
Because all you need is an SCV and a chair.
That's true. That's all you need. And a floating command center flying around somewhere.
Looks like there's another couple of Overlords coming in here.
Whoa! We got the drop this time, guys! Lurkers in there! That didn't do anything. Good effort.
He's going to try it again for another drop, I believe. I'm not sure why he doesn't have the Defilers out to just end the game.
Yeah, it's interesting, and it reminds me of like his game against Pro on Tau Cross, where he had such a massive advantage from his lane run by, but he actually just played a macro game.
He's just going straight to Ultras, actually. He's not even going for Defilers.
I like it. I don't like Defilers. Defilers suck. I think
so. You don't think they're like the best unit in the game almost?
Well, wait, I'm trying to convince all the ladder Zergs to not use Defilers. Come on. All right, here we go. Lurker
the
link.
Ultras are all coming.
And
look, the Terran's trying to push out here, which I don't think is a good idea.
Guys, look at the minimap. I think he just box A-moved everything. He's going to go in at the same time with the Lurkers. Look at the swarm on the minimap. He's covering the entire middle of the map. The Ultra Link attack moving in to the Terran natural. He's going in at the same time with the Lurkers. D-Matrix on the front. Sea-Shank, but there's no way that's going to make a difference. And look at the Zerg swarm overwhelming the Terran defenses exactly as they should in the lore.
You think he's going to go back to the ramp again? Hide in that bunker. Make the game going for another 10 minutes.
Oh, man. Please, no. Oh,
okay, the Marines are just rally pointed. He pulls them back now. But there is a Defiler. Finally, the storms come down and he can push up the
GG from MorroW. Gorinich up 2-1 over the Terran here in this best of 5 series. And 1 game away from the winner's bracket final, where if he does make it, he will be up against Firebat Hero in another ZVT. But can MorroW make the comeback? Can he do what Draco almost did to Firebat Hero as the underdog?
Can you pull out the Tisagi? Or will it be Jisagi today?
All right. There's the trophy that
MorroW's
one of these
looking
guys...
a bit stressed.
Is he? Let's have a look. Nice.
Rubbing his neck.
Yeah, just working out the tension in the shoulders.
Scratching his head.
It's like, huh,
closing his eyes.
It's like this Zerg race, man. It's pretty good. It's pretty strong.
Yeah, he's going to take a drink of water now. Oh, Red Bull.
Oh, he's got the Red Bull. I wonder if he should try the Draco strat of praise RNG. I mean, we are in the Cathedral, and as Koget actually pointed out, after the second game, Draco was praying in his chair, and then he won 2 games against Firebat Hero, so that might be a good strat.
I mean, there is a lot of religious stuff on the walls and the ceilings here, so...
Indeed, indeed. It definitely inspired me to cast better StarCraft.
There's the beautiful trophy. Looks like a football trophy.
I wonder what it actually says. Oh, it says, telling Esports Open, Luca 2017. I didn't catch the rest of it, but anyway, here we go, guys.
Got Firebat Hero's name on it.
Just pre-engraved. Oh, man.
Yeah, it looks like MorroW's a bit shaken up after that one, but Gorinich actually looks kind of nervous as well.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Maybe you're just like better at picking up on the small facial cues. He's got a better read on these guys. But anyway, spawning here at the top right position, it looks like we are on Fighting Spirit, the best map of all time, of course. And we have the blue Zerg here, Gorinich up 2-1 in this series.
And it looks like he's overlording the Terran.
Uh-huh.
Who is in the top left corner? It's the red Terran. Can he win this game? Can he get rid of his nerves? The chat rush comes again.
Is he going to be the mannerest guy that we've ever seen? With the good game, good luck. There he is. Now, that Overlord is not going to the close natural. It's not going clockwise, which is what you usually do in Fighting Spirit.
Usually when you go clockwise, because it can be sniped by like an 8-Rex or something if you go this way.
Yeah.
So I love this change. Maybe he's trying to throw off his opponent here. Although, I don't know, would MorroW necessarily be SCV scouting for the Overlord?
So, I guess not. I maybe this is like taking a risk in the early game that MorroW's not 8-Rexing. But I think this helps later because this means he can get 2 Overlords in position, right? So he can cut. So this Overlord
is usually what you want to do on Circuit Breaker because it's really hard to get your Overlord on the other side of the map.
Yes.
So you want to send your first Overlord horizontally and slightly diagonal, like he's doing here.
Yeah.
And then you'll get your Overlord on the other side of the map, and then you can go to the other base if he's not there.
Yeah.
Straight down from there.
Yeah.
And then that way you get an Overlord on each side of the map without any shenanigans of Terrans trying to snipe it, and that's what Jaedong actually does.
That's good. I mean, Gorinich apparently has been studying those Jaedong VODs.
One of the only Zergs who does that, though.
Really?
Yeah.
It's same with the Zerglings. Why aren't more Zergs copying Jaedong? Surely, if you're a Zerg, you should be copying Jaedong.
Well, I think Jaedong just likes his little nuances in the early game.
Yeah.
That's why he's so good at doing early aggression, because he gets so much information early game, because he's so good at the Overlord positioning.
That's a very interesting point. So, I mean, it's going to work out perfectly here for Gorinich, getting that very early Overlord in position to see any shenanigans coming out.
The problem, though, with the second Overlord scouting down here like this is if you're getting bunker rushed,
you don't see it?
You don't have your Overlord there, but since he went pill first, he's fine.
Indeed he is. He's moving down towards the middle of the map here. The command center has actually been built on the low ground. MorroW didn't scout this. His SCV went the wrong way. You can see on the minimap the SCV still hasn't reached the Zerg base, and the Zerglings are going to come in here to the natural. How much damage can he do?
Yeah, these Zerglings are just going to cancel his command center, and then if he hasn't blocked the ramp, which he hasn't, actually just going straight up the ramp, he ignores the command center, going straight for the Marines, which is just only 2
the
of them.
SCVs, can they block in time? They're trying to block. One Marine's going to fall. The second Marine is behind the SCV wall.
More Zerglings flooding in.
Oh my god, you can see on the minimap a couple more Zerglings are coming down. There are still 7 Zerglings in the main base against only the single Marine.
He's not even taking his gas, he's just spamming Zerglings at this point from his, well, soon-to-be 3 hatcheries.
This game could be very fast. This could be a very decisive game 4 that will give Gorinich the win in this series if he can close it out. But not too bad, not too shabby. This micro from MorroW, he's really taking down these Zerglings. Look at this. Look at this micro.
Yeah, but he needs to get control of his ramp immediately before the Zergling flood really starts kicking in, because he's got his 2 hatcheries now flooding at the Zerglings, which is going to be too much for one barracks to hold.
That is a good point. I can see on the minimap more Zerglings at the natural. Can they stop this SCV from even finishing the command center? It looks like not. It looks like SCV is even pushing off those 2 Zerglings, but it looks like he's not blocking for his Marines anymore. He didn't expect a second wave of Zerglings. He did not expect the second wave of Gorinich to come into his natural, and has now lost all of his Marines. SCVs fighting Zerglings. They're pretty strong, but this is a horrible position for MorroW right now, losing a lot of SCVs. More Zerglings coming in. Gorinich, he smells the blood in the water. He knows he can win the game right here with the Zerglings.
Yeah, he's not thrown down a bunker at all, so he only has this 1 Marine and a bunch of SCVs to hold off like an entire controlled group of Zerglings. He loses every SCV. He's down to 12 supply.
And he's typing on the keyboard. I think it's over. His hand is off the mouse. GG! Gorinich, a 3-1, very clean and decisive victory over MorroW, stumbling just a little bit on Tau Cross, getting a little bit greedy with his sunken colonies, but otherwise a very swift and decisive series, I think.